Hello and welcome back to my studio. It's your first time here. I'm Julie, the girl with a brush, and I'm working on Junk Journal January 24, day 28. The prompt is grungy, and I'm holding this pile in my hand because I hope that you will stick around to see how I turn all of this into some grunge. Let's get going. I printed some pictures of my chickens, and I did this for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm a crazy chicken lady. Second, if you have chickens or you've been around chickens, I always say they don't call them foul for nothing. Chickens are grungy. They are grungy right now. My chickens are out dancing in the mud because it doesn't matter how many bags of shavings we put down. They dig and they make grunge. I'm not putting that grunge in my journal because it's full of chicken poo, but I am going to put my cute little chickens. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create some layers. I'm going to grunge up the edges, and I'm going to stick them down on the page. So stick around so you can see how I do this. Let's get started. I'm going to start with this one. I really like this picture. So we have an empty shed on our property, and we put this net up while we were working on the front part of the shed, because the front part of the shed has a chicken run. I can put a picture of the chicken coop in there. So I bribed my child to paint the chicken coop for me. And I covered the chicken coop with every metal flower that I could find. We collected metal flowers for about a year or so, and you'll see that in the picture. So I piled all of the flowers onto the chicken coop, and then the front of the chicken coop has the chicken run, and we put this netting up while we were working on the run to keep them in there at night, and mostly to keep the fox and the coyotes and whatever else from getting to the chickens. And it worked pretty well. One thing, sorry, I know I'm tearing paper and talking. One thing that I will point out when I flip this back over, the chickens thought that the net was a hammock. So it did work, but they made a hammock out of it. So, and you know, I was a little frustrated with them because every day we had to kind of pull it back up to make sure they were safe at night. But at the same time, it was the best view in the coop. And when you came out there to see them, they were just all sitting there on the line. And it was just so darn cute that you can't get mad at them, you know. I think that that was kind of how I felt about it. So I took a picture so that I could remember the chickens that didn't really want, they didn't really want to be in the coop. They just wanted to be on the netting. And it's okay. It all worked out. We got the chicken run finished. Put a chicken bath in there. And they were very happy. Okay, I just used some scraps from a previous project. And then I'm going to take my scissors. Now, Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, if you know Barbara, she like scrapes the edges and does all of these crazy things. I don't know. I'm going to see what kind of curling and craziness I can do with this. And I always watch Barbara. She makes it look so easy, right? I'm going to treat it like curling ribbon and kind of go backwards here. Because I want it to like fold up. I don't care if it tears. I'm going to take my... These are the smaller Distress inks. And I buy the small ones because you get a whole bunch of colors. But the other thing I do is I make a stack and it becomes my applicator. So, just in case you don't have those wooden applicators. I have some of those, but sometimes I don't want to get up for them. And sometimes, yeah, well, you know how it is. I'm creating. I can't be bothered by finding an applicator today. And we're reorganizing the craft room. So, you know, when you're reorganizing, you definitely will not find them. So, after we get things reorganized, I thought that maybe I would do a walkthrough, like a little craft room tour. I have one child and 3 bedrooms. And so my son is actually, he's an adult. He's out of college and got his own apartment. But I let my husband stay in the room with me. He's pretty nice, so I do that. And the extra bedroom is my craft room. So I have an entire room. So I'm going to put some grunge up there. I don't have to do a lot to make that old shed look grungy. I don't know how long it's been there, but... Okay, now I have this. And I'm just realizing as I'm having so much fun playing with my little chickens that I'm going to have the same problem that I had on my last page. Let me shut this and let me look at this for a minute and have like a little reality check. You know how you have those moments? So now I've done all this wonderful grungy whatever, but I'm going to have to spread the chickens across the page. Or we have sideways chickens. Sideways chickens or skinnier chickens? Sideways chickens. Okay. I'm okay with that. Let's keep going. My journal's probably not going to shut anyway, so it doesn't matter. My journal is, right now I have half of the pages folded back the other way because I can't shut it. I need to get it figured out and put it under some books. A case of books. Maybe. Mac truck. I don't know. Okay. Now that we decided we're going sideways, we'll get this out of here. I was going to put a third layer of vellum under this, but honestly, I don't know if I need it. I think this might be enough with this tissue and whatever I'm doing here. this tissue came wrapped around some flowers. It's just really pretty. Okay, there's some grungy birds. Oh, stick those dirty birds there. All right, I love those dirty birds. Now I have these. I don't think I'm using my other chicken picture, and I think that what I am going to do is I'm gonna take my Stabilos. Let's see, I got a Stabilo. This is a Stabilo Woody. I'll put some of that in there. This is a Neocolor 2, water soluble in russet. I think we need to go around the edge. We gotta get serious here and take the clip off, right? I'm using this blue because I have a teal chicken coop. So the teal chicken coop was my test color because it was the color I wanted to paint the house. And we painted, so my son and one of his friends helped. We painted the building, and my husband didn't like it. So I said, all right, fine. I get to pick everything else in our world. I'll let you pick the color of the house. So we painted the house green, which was fine. It's beautiful, actually. But I got a teal chicken coop out of the deal. So, and it's covered with flowers, and it's nestled in the woods. You know, I'm gonna grunge up this ruffle, because on another page I did something and I left the ruffle alone, but for grungy, I don't think I can. I think it needs something. So these, both the Stabilo and that Neocolor are water soluble, as you see, and I'm just brushing them in. I kind of mixed all those colors together because I knew that it would make something kind of muddy, frankly. Now I'm gonna do this. Look at this. This is why I love my little stack of inks, because look at that. If you want grunge, this is it. This is pretty. Some pretty grunge. Okay. Kind of. See this color? This is so bright. But I got my chicken colors in there. What do I need? Well, I'm just going to stick this. This is pretty dry. This is pretty dry. I'm going to use my double stick tape. Everything is dry, so I can do this. It's only, I kind of put adhesive in the center here, so I'm not going to put any double stick tape in the center, and I'm keeping it away from the edges so that it will still be like bendy and grungy. Oh, I broke my rule. Peeling them all the way off. Okay, let me do this. I'm getting excited, that's why. Okay, I'll do these two. Hopefully these are two that I peel back only half usually. I got excited because that allows this part to rest on the paper so that you can move it around. Oh, look at that. It's the top ones. I couldn't have done that any better. See, I can slide it as much as I want. I'm gonna put this down a little lower on the page so that the grunge hangs out on the bottom. And I don't want as much up here near my fold because, as I told you, my book is getting really, really full. So there we go. And I've cut out the little prompts, and I put them, printed them on a separate piece of paper so that I had another copy of them. And I'm even gonna put the grungy over here so that it looks like I meant for this to flip sideways. Okay, and then I need something up here. So I think what I'm gonna do, so I grabbed some book pages and I've put these Neo colors down, and I've made some egg shapes. And well, I'll insert a picture of one of my buckets of eggs so that you can see the rainbow that my girls give me. I'm not making white eggs because I wanted a little bit of color, but I like the chickens that lay all the colored eggs because it's fun. And my mother, she likes the blue ones. So I save the blue ones and I take her a couple of dozen blue ones at a time. So, all right. I'm going to take my brown Stabilo. And really you could do this with any pencil. Got some scuzz on it. Sometimes I get so much matte medium on the tip that it won't write. Okay. And then the nice thing about the Stabilo is, you know, you can just go around it and it spreads a little, and look at that grunge, instant. And I'm not being exact. Some of these eggs are not perfect, but if you've ever bought fresh eggs or you've ever seen chickens, they are not perfect. It's funny because sometimes we get them, and when the chickens are smaller and they first start laying, you know, the eggs are a little smaller, but then they start to get bigger. And for a while, goodness, we had a hen that was laying eggs so big, I'm sure it hurt. Poor thing. Okay, I'm using this Stabilo for a couple of reasons. First of all, I like the way that it looks. If I did a Posca pen, you know, I'd have a lot cleaner line and I wouldn't have this grunge on the edge, which is the whole idea. The other reason I'm doing it is I am letting the centers dry a little bit, because I want to put a few speckles. Like these often have speckles. Sometimes these have speckles. Just putting a highlight. Okay. And I'll give this one a few. Usually the blue ones don't have speckles, but there's something about blue speckled eggs that like makes you happy, right? So, all right, let's cut these out. Let's see who I would pick. And that one is kind of the same color. Let's see. Let's start there. Now I put that down. I'm only brushing over this one time very quickly. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I used a water-soluble crayon and I don't want to lighten that up and like, you know, take color off, but I do want to make sure my edges are down. And I'm using the edge of this and there really isn't much left on it by that time. See, I have to go a little flatter. So there we go. There is that one. And let's go underneath here. Okay. Got some grunge. And these eggs, you saw, I just made them on a book page. And I like to do that with book pages. And you can sit and make eggs for like a half an hour out of any color. You can use watercolor. You can use gouache. I like to use something a little more translucent because you can see the words through it. So the Neocolors, watercolors, you know, anything, like I said, that is transparent. I mean, you can do it with opaque colors too, but I like the words. And then you just, you know, go around them and you can cut them out, and I leave a little bit of a border. And then when you need a place to stick something on a page, you can do this. And if you don't like eggs, if you're not a crazy chicken lady, you can do leaves, you can do flowers, you know, but I like the egg shape. It's easy. They're fast. It makes me happy. I'm waiting for spring. I think we've got, let's make let's ground them a little so we don't have floating eggs. Not that anybody cares, but a little more stabilo. Almost can't see it. Okay, so there we go. This page, sideways, but definitely grungy. I hope you enjoyed watching this and creating with me. And if you were inspired by this video, I hope you go grab your brush and you make something similar to it. Have a good day.